Okay, we're live. Yeah. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. 大家好，各位家长好，欢迎来到乐见直播间。今天晚上给大家带来的是美高顶级名校、寄宿名校访谈系列啊。今天是排名第23的魔堡学校 Mercersburg。然后今天呢，我们请到了他的副招生办主任Jake Kennedy 啊，这个是 Jake 老师，那个非常帅的面孔。然后很简单介绍帮助大家了解一下这个老师啊，他目前是这个副招生办主任，然后之前毕业出也是一个顶级的美国寄宿高中叫 Baylor School 啊，在 Tennessee 州，然后之后呢，他又在这个学校当了中学的地理老师啊，在毕业这个 Baylor School 毕业之后呢，他又去了 Sony 大学啊，这个是称为南部的大学，被大家在美国称之为。然后目前呢，他是在魔堡担任这个副招生办主任，并且呢是负责学生的户外和这个野外活动和教育啊，所以大家欢迎Jake Kennedy 老师。OK，Yeah，Jake, go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Diego, so much. Thank you to Joyview for having me this morning for me and this evening for you guys or wherever you might be calling in from. And thank you guys so much for your time this evening and taking the time out of your night here to log on and learn a little bit about Mercersburg Academy. It's a great school, and I'm excited to share with you a little bit about it. And then just a couple other things about myself personally. I'm not sure if Diego mentioned, but I've been here at Mercersburg for 7 years now. So for a while by my standards at least, and it's been an awesome experience. I do dorm duty in one of the dorms. I'm an advisor for 6 boys. I help after school with the outdoor education program. So I get to do a lot of awesome different things here in addition to my admission work.
我帮这个老师翻译一下，就是他说这个他在魔堡的话已经7年了，他除了这个招生办副主任的工作，他还是6个学生的这个算是辅导员啊，然后并且呢，他是在这个宿舍也是这个宿舍的管理人员，所以他非常开心在魔堡这个7年。
Great. So we'll jump in here, and I'm going to explain a little bit about Mercersburg, just sort of at a high level. I'll talk about academics. I'll talk about a lot of our extracurricular programs as well, and then at the end, I'll be very excited to answer your questions and hear what's on your mind as an audience.
OK，这个的话，他会先介绍一下学生的学校的基本信息，然后会给大家再着重介绍他的学术和课程，然后再回答一些问题。所以那个我们很高兴欢迎这个老师给我们详细的介绍，因为很多家长说这个排名这么靠前的学校，一直对中国学生来说还是有些，因为叫魔堡嘛，还是有些魔性的，就是大家对他其实不是特别了解，所以在这里欢迎这个老师给我们详细介绍一下。OK。
So a little bit about Mercersburg Academy. We were established as a school in 1893, so we are approaching our 130th year anniversary. So we're a very well-established school at this point. We've been at this same location right here in central Pennsylvania ever since our founding. And we're within easy driving distance of a number of really cool, big metropolitan US cities. Washington, D.C. is only an hour and a half away. Baltimore is only an hour and a half away. Those are actually the 2 cities that have the big international airports that our students fly in and out of if they're coming to campus. And then we're also an easy train ride or a car ride to Philadelphia and New York City as well.
这个魔堡的地理位置呢，其实非常优秀，因为它是在各个大城市的之间，离这个华盛顿这个美国的首都，也就是1个半小时的车程，然后离这个 Baltimore 还有Philadelphia 还有这个纽约，其实都是可以在开车距离之内。然后呢，跟这些各大机场其实也是距离很近的。然后刚才这个老师说了，其实魔堡有个非常悠久的历史，这个建校已经130多年了啊，所以大家可以看它是1893年建立的， 所以这个魔堡的话，其实在不管地理位置还是历史方面，给学生的很好的一个会体验。嗯。
Great. So a little bit about our just kind of our students, our faculty, our community. We're a medium-sized school, about 440 students, so a good mid-size school in terms of our student body. As far as the boarding breakdown goes, most of our students here do board, 85% of them. We have a small population of day students, about 15%, who will go home at the end of the day. But 85% of our students live on campus and board here. Our male to female ratio is pretty much 50-50. It always fluctuates 1 to 2% in either direction, depending on the year, but it's usually right around half and half. Our international population is 22%, so it's a very global and diverse community in that sense. And as far as where students are coming from, we have students from about 29 different states here on campus and 36 countries. So there really is some pretty great broad representation of people and folks represented here within our community. As far as faculty go, when faculty come here to teach at Mercersburg or work at Mercersburg, they tend to stay here. The average tenure is about 10 years. So you can tell that families come here and really stay here. They'll raise their families here, and they'll continue to grow and be involved in this community during that time. And you can rest assured that when you're here at Mercersburg, you're learning from the best. About 77% of our faculty hold some kind of advanced degree, either a PhD or a master's degree in the field that they teach.
Okay. So it seems like, Jake, you have 3 more years to go, right? To reach the average.
I know. Exactly.
Yeah.
Close.
But I'm sure you go much longer. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'm shooting for 20 or 30.
Right，这个老师刚才跟他开个玩笑，因为他说平均的 faculty 是会有10年的至少在这个模堡这个教学的经验。然后因为这个老师说他一开始说他已经7年了嘛，所以我说他还有3年，但我相信他肯定10年、20年都没有问题，因为大家可以看非常帅气英俊的一个年轻的老师。然后介绍一下这个数据吧，一些大家其实我觉得很多家长都会对这个数据非常开心看到这个数据，因为它不大不小，正好440个学生，然后呢，又是家长想看到的85%都是寄宿的。因为既然去了一个寄宿的这个贵族学校的话，那其实大家也想让大多数同学都是在校园上，因为这样的话活动等等也会更多，所以它85%是住校，15%呢是这个就是回家的，所以这个比例非常完美。然后这个男生女生比例也基本上1:1，也非常完美。然后呢，还有这个国际学生的数字，因为很多家长其实包括我们现在目前这个上海的一个初中的家长以前跟我们说过，他既不想特别多国际学生，也不想特别少，所以这个22%，我觉得正是在他之前跟我们说的他喜欢的这个范围之内所以我觉得也非常好。然后这些学生来自于440个学生来自于29个州，在美国的州，还有36个不同的国家这个10年刚才已经这个玩笑开过了。然后呢，77%的老师们都会有这个 advanced degrees 也就是说在硕士或者以上的学历所以这个是非常老师的这个非常资深。Thanks, Jake.
Of course. A little bit about our academics here at Mercersburg. We have over 170 courses that are offered that students can take here. That's a lot to choose from. If you go onto our website, actually, you can see our course catalog and look at all the different options. But within all those courses, we have regular offerings, but we also have honors courses. We have advanced offerings where students can take an AP test and get college credit. And then we also have opportunities for an independent study. If you feel like maybe you've taken the highest level of a certain class, but you're thirsty for more and you want to keep learning and keep studying in that area, you can apply for an independent study where over the course of the year, you get to work with a Mercersburg faculty member, a teacher, and kind of create your own course and scope of study within biology or French or whatever it is that you want to study. And they'll work with you to set goals throughout the year, work on projects and things like that. I'll let you go ahead and take that, Diego, because I feel like I threw a lot at you there.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I actually missed fine point. So the difference between honor courses and advanced offering, can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, of course. So honors level courses, also accelerated level courses. Those are courses that just move a little bit faster and are
Okay.
more work intensive than maybe the regular offering. Um, the advanced offerings, we call them advanced studies. This is the program we offer instead of the traditional AP program. But all of these advanced studies courses closely mirror AP biology or
Okay.
AP
Got it.
economics or the AP counterpart. So students can take the AP test at the end of the year
Okay.
if they want to get that college credit.
OK OK，Thank you 啊，那个这个老师说这个3个，我想确保这个了解很清楚，因为在魔宝的话，其实有170个不同的课可以选择，然后其中包括 honors courses 刚才我有一个就是刚才稍微有点儿这个混淆，因为有的学校把这个 AP 的话也叫做 honor course，就跟 AP 挂钩的，但是这个老师说了，这个 honor course 只是就是这些课会讲的稍微快一些，比正常课，就管他们叫 honors courses。然后真正跟 AP 有关的呢，就是这个 advanced offerings 他们的课程。然后呢，但有时候这还不够，比如说一个学生想在这个，比如说生物或者是法语不同的语言，甚至物理等等，这个就是有更深的理解或者是钻研的话，那老师还会有这些 independent study，就是跟学生的步骤和他们的想做的一些课题来老师给他们开课，所以我觉得这个是非常非常独特的。OK。
Great. Yeah, we also have a 4-to-1 faculty to student ratio. So for every 4 students, there's 1 faculty member represented. That allows us to have small groups of students working with our faculty. We don't have big classes, big classrooms with a lot of students in them. Our average class size is about 10 to 11 students. Uh, every student has a faculty advisor and advisor groups. Those are only about 5 or 6 students. So that ratio just allows, a small group of students to be working with 1 faculty member at a time, which allows for just a lot of individualized attention on every student from the faculty on campus. And then, of course, just our course offerings. It's a lot of the traditional courses that you might see in a traditional liberal arts curriculum: math, science, STEM, English. We have 4 different foreign languages to choose from: Latin, Chinese, French, and Spanish. But again, we have 170 different courses within all these different areas. So there are a lot of ways that you can dive really deep into one of these areas if it sparks an interest in you.
OK，Thank you。这个老师说，在魔宝有170多个课程，那这里边包括什么呢？它包括肯定是大家知道的数学还有这个 STEM Science Technology还有包括 Engineering 等等还有英语，还有包括外国语，外国语包括拉丁语中文肯定很多学生比较喜欢，还有法语西班牙语等等。然后还有就是肯定是还有就是包括宗教学，还有艺术，包括可能是绘画等等，平面艺术这种就是油画艺术等等。所以这些的话，其实大家可以看到，就是美国高中可以有的，那魔宝都有
Great. Mercersburg as a boarding school, like a lot of boarding schools, is so much more than just a school. Mercersburg has a lot of really cool things that you can get involved in outside of the classroom. For example, we have 27 different sports that you can choose from here and 45 different teams as well. So a lot of the sports that we offer have a varsity team for sure. but a lot of them have a junior varsity team as well. And then some of them even have a thirds team, which is a
嗯
great opportunity for kind of an intro level experience. Maybe you don't have a lot of experience playing basketball, or you've never played basketball and you want to try it. That's a great way to try it while also getting a competitive season out of it too. Sorry, my screen was flickering there for a second. So yeah, that's a little bit about our sports. As far as the arts go, we have 4 theater productions to choose from as well. Theater is offered all year round, and we always do a big musical production in the winter time. And then we also have dance year
啊
round as well. We offer dance in the fall, winter, and spring, and there is a dance concert at the end of each of those seasons. So we have 3 big dance concerts that our students perform. And then, yeah, I'll mention the vocal groups here, and then I'll pass it to Diego for a second. But we have several opportunities as well. If you're a singer or a vocalist, we have a big concert choir. And then we also have 2 a cappella groups, one for boys, one for girls. So some great opportunities for singing there. And then also a string orchestra and a big concert band. And all these groups, they also have the opportunity to perform for our community throughout the year.
嗯，OK，哇，so just to elaborate before I translate, Jake. So in terms of
Yes.
sports, what are a few sports that Mercersburg excel at?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for asking. I think
Mm,
our swimming program especially has a long history of success and attracting some really great swimmers and sending them off to great programs afterwards. So swimming certainly has been a consistently successful program here. Squash in the
mm,
last couple of years, we've uh, developed an incredible squash program. We have an amazing facility for squash, and our team has seen a lot of success in their seasons the last few years. And then baseball as well. Our baseball team has over the last decade won 8 or 9 championships, division championships as a
wow.
team. So I would say swimming, squash, and baseball are currently probably our strongest athletic
Okay,
programs.
top three. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
okay. A
yeah.
good triple. Okay, that's very representative. OK，就是刚才这个老师就是说，他们很重视体育啊，他们有27个体育队，27个不同的这个体育，然后还有45个队，然后它包括就是这个我们叫 varsity，就是算是这个就是最高等级的一个学校队啊，然后还有 JV，我们叫 junior varsity，就是稍微弱一些。就是以前这个你们的薛老师在高中的时候也是网球，当时是 junior varsity，然后田径是 varsity，所以这个的话，其实进入 varsity 还是不是很容易的，只有最优秀的这个体育健将才可以进到 varsity。然后我又趁机问了一下这个老师，因为上面没有写，我说就是魔宝哪个体育是非常擅长的，然后这个给我们举出来3个，第一个就是游泳，游泳的话，他们有一个非常长的这个游泳健将的历史。第二个就是 squash 叫壁球第三个就是棒球 baseball，然后 baseball 其实他们得过这个8、9个这个冠军，所以这3个如果在座的家长孩子喜欢的话，那魔宝肯定是需要考虑的一个高中。接下来呢，除了体育呢，肯定是艺术和表演方面。那从表演方面的话，魔宝其实非常注重，每年呢会有4个就他说了，每一个 season 都会有一个这个就是theater 就是这个话剧的一个彩排和表演然后还有一个是音乐剧。这个每年呢，它会有3个这个跟舞蹈相关的这样的创作作品然后从音乐方面呢，其实它就更多了，有不同的，包括呢，它有2个 a cappella，就是那种合唱合唱团，然后呢，还有这个就是管弦乐队，还有真正的一个交响乐队 concert band。所以我觉得不管是从这个表演艺术、音乐还是体育魔宝都是非常擅长的。Thanks, Jake.
Yeah, of course. Um, and in addition to sports and the arts, we have some other pretty cool, unique offerings. Outdoor education is another program that I help lead here on campus in the springtime. We have a number of different focuses within outdoor education that include hiking, camping and backpacking, rock climbing, mountain biking, kayaking as well. So these are all things that you can get involved in through outdoor education. We have a really great area with a lot of trails and rivers. We have a ski mountain that's 10 minutes away from campus, actually. So we run a winter ski program as well. So those are some cool outdoor options as well if you're interested in that. And then we have a robotics program after school that students can get involved in. We actually have 3 areas in which you can get involved in robotics after school, but we also offer it as a class if you want to fit it into your academic schedule. We have robotics classes, and then we have a robotics club, which is just kind of informal gatherings throughout the week. And yeah, in addition to robotics club, we have about 40 other different clubs and organizations that students can sign up for, all optional. These are things like gaming club, French club, baking club. We have a gardening club this year. Different, all kinds of different clubs that students can get involved in. And if you come here and you're interested in something and you're like, I have this really great interest, but there's no club for it, you can start your own club, and it's relatively easy to do so here at Mercersburg to start a club. And then we also have some cool travel opportunities too. Every year we have about 10 different offerings in terms of trips that students can sign up for that go all around the world. They're led by Mercersburg faculty members. They usually happen during the summer break at the beginning of summer. So we're not in school, any student can do them. We've gone to Canada recently. We've been to Spain recently. We've been to Italy, Costa Rica. We're going to either Chile or Peru next year. And a number of different, we've been all over the place. And the offerings, the trips, they change every year. So if you're not interested in a trip this year, take a look next year, and there might be something new that's offered that you can sign up for a global travel opportunity.
Okay. Yeah. Before I translate, so Jake, one follow-up question. So, how long
Yeah.
are these trips, and what would the student do on these trips?
Great question. Thank you. They range in terms of duration. I would say anywhere from 6 days on the short end to 2 to 3 weeks on the longer end. Um,
Okay.
and in terms of what they do, they also range. Some of them are more academic focused, where maybe they're studying or doing some biology work down in Costa Rica or something like that. Some of them are just more sightseeing, where they're being tourists for 2 weeks, going to museums and eating at good restaurants. And some of them are even outdoor education focused, where they're backpacking or trekking or
Mm,
camping, rock climbing, things like that.
okay. So if they go to Peru next year, it definitely would be like a Machu Picchu hike led by you, right?
I'm sure that would be on the agenda, you would think.
Yeah, it's the biggest one of the wonders of the world. Okay, great. OK, I'll
Definitely.
translate that. 这个第一呢，先说到 Jake 老师这个 outdoor education 啊，就是户外的这个学习，算是野外学习吧。然后刚才已经说了，Jake 老师不但是这个副的招生办主任，他还是这个野外户外学习的领导者啊。然后他其实在学校旁边就是经常带学生去滑雪，然后还有这个爬山这个徒步。还有这个骑山地车等等。那这个可以看出来，这个老师是非常爱体育运动的，这个跟我很相似，我也很喜欢。所以像这个老师看齐，那这样的话，其实可以培养学生的跟老师的一个是他们的关系和信任，第二就是学生的自己的信心，还有韧性等等，都是可以通过体育来培养的，所以我非常喜欢。然后呢，这个尤其是我们一些的这个目前的家长，其实孩子都比较喜欢机器人儿。那这个某宝的话，他说这个学校这个放学以后，其实有很多这种活动，包括这个学校的机器人俱乐部，然后包括40个不同的俱乐部不同的俱乐部，哇40个真的很多。我想这个学生喜欢基本上都有，但是这个老师说，如果 学生找不到自己喜欢的俱乐部，那再重新开启一个俱乐部也是非常容易的。所以这个就是这个魔宝给学生的一个培养自己领导力和团队协作的机会，所以我觉得这个也是非常好啊。So two quick questions, Jake. First of all, are there for those students who likes math, is there a math club? And second, to run a club, will the student be able to get any funding from the school? Yeah, my two questions. The parents asked.
Great questions. Yeah. So there is a math club. It's called the Math League, and they
Mhm.
even do some competitions throughout the year. So that's a great way for students to get involved if they're interested in math.
Okay.
And then yes, there is some funding within the student activities budget
Mhm.
that goes toward club initiatives. If students need money for something, the school can help make that happen.
OK，thank you。我帮家长问了一下，因为我中国学生这个数学肯定是强项，就问了一下俱乐部，他们那我可能会有还是数学应该可以在这个俱乐部里实现。另外呢，刚才这个老师说学生可以创办自己的俱乐部，那肯定好，但是创办俱乐部也需要一些经费的，所以我就问了一下老师，这个经费某宝会不会提供？他说也会给到学生的，如果需要这个创办俱乐部需要一些，比如说仪器啊，或者是其他的这个俱乐部需要的，那学校也会提供。嗯。
Great. And then I'll kind of leave you guys with this right here, and then we'll turn it over to questions here in just a second. But we kind of consider this the Mercersburg promise that Mercersburg Academy is number one. It's a school that is going to challenge you. Kids come here to work hard and to push themselves. So students are definitely challenged here, and it's a unique place for that. But it's also a unique place because we're also going to support you along the way. You're not going to be alone in your journey here. If you face academic struggles, we'll be here to support you in those areas. If you've had a bad day and you're facing some emotional struggles, we'll be there to be someone to talk to you and to help you through anything related to that. So it's a very supportive community that's always there for you in a number of different ways when you need it. It's also the kind of place where you can come here and really be yourself, feel comfortable in your own skin. And depending on whatever it is that you're interested, it doesn't really matter because the community is going to accept you for who you are. There's a place for everyone here at Mercersburg, and that makes it a pretty special place in a lot of ways, for sure. And then, of course, we're gonna connect you. The Mercersburg experience does not end when you graduate and when you leave campus. Students who come to Mercersburg stay connected to Mercersburg. They feel connected to Mercersburg even after they leave, and they stay connected with each other in the real world when they come back for reunions, when they're looking for jobs. The Mercersburg network comes into play in a lot of great ways when you get to that point. It's very much a community for life in that sense. So I'll go ahead and leave you with that right there.
OK，这个老师想给我们最后一个这个slide，就是说，这个魔宝呢是一个非常有挑战的，因为毕竟它排名很靠前。那这个的话，第一是不容易进去啊，首先要求很高；第二进去以后呢，你身边的也是非常优秀的孩子，那这个挑战是肯定会有的。但是挑战之后呢，背后呢却是整个的这个faculty 还有老师可以帮助学生来支持他，不管是学术还是生活还是这个学生的理想，我觉得都会有很多老师愿意，包括这个老师会帮助这些学生。像这个老师说了，他 mentor 这个6个学生那这个的话，我相信这些学生有困难的话也可以找到他然后accept 就是因为在这个魔宝的话有22%的是国际生，那他肯定知道需要让这些学生感觉到就是回家一样，那他肯定要来有一个容纳度和一个包容的心，那这个也是学校提倡的，就是大家可以做自己，然后被别人来接受。 啊，这也是一个美国这个非常我觉得好的一个理念。然后第四呢，就是关联啊，关联的话，你一进魔堡的话，你终身就是一个魔堡的学生了。那这个不管是以后的联系，就你在学校还是离开学校以后，你都会觉得你是魔堡的一员，并且在这个每年这个之后，可能美国比较讲究5年、10年的这个 reunion 和这个就是回校、访校返校，然后这些的话都会有组织。然后并且呢，在工作方面儿在学术方面儿甚至这个其他的，我觉得生活方面儿都可以来找到你之前的校友，或者这个校友强大的关系网来找到帮助。所以我觉得这几点其实是都是非常好的。So Jake, I also besides translating, I also mentioned you said support, and I remember you said you're the mentor for 6 students. So I can imagine that, if they have trouble with anything, they can come to you for support. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm usually the first person they would come to in those situations.
So are all the students paired up with like a mentor like yourself?
Yeah, every student gets a faculty advisor whose
I see.
job is to basically serve as their parent away from home here on campus.
Okay, got that. Yeah, I like the analogy. Yeah, OK，那个这个说就是因为他有6个学生嘛，那我就问他一下，是不是所有学生都是有一个这样 advisor？他说是啊，就是每一个学生都会跟一个这个学校的老师来这个就是建立关系。然后他说这个老师其实就像他们一个这个当地的家长一样啊，这样的关怀。所以这样说大家应该都能明白。Okay, I think everybody understood the parent analogy. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect.
Mhm.
All right, good. And yeah, I'll just leave this here. If you're interested in learning about our programs and seeing more about Mercersburg, go to our website. But specifically, this link right here will take you to our virtual tour, where you can go into different buildings and look around and really see our campus from your computer, at least. So I encourage you to go to that link if you're interested in seeing it.
嗯，那
And
这
then,
老师
yeah, Diego, from there, you can, I'll
Yeah.
turn it over to you
Actually,
for
we're doing
questions.
really good on time, so I might ask you one or two depth, like something you want to talk about Mercersburg. But I'll translate this first,
Sure.
OK？这个
Perfect.
这个老师说，就是你可以去这个 www.mercersburg.info，然后可以看他们这个整个校园。因为今天老师没有放视频，所以大家可以自己上线看一下啊。所以然后actually, Jake, we're actually doing really good on time. So the question probably would only take about 10 minutes or so. If there's something else other not in the slide you would like to share about Mercersburg, like the differentiation, because you've been to actually a couple boarding schools, or at least know you went to Baylor, but you probably know many other boarding schools. So if something that makes Mercersburg stand out, what would you say? Yeah. Or we can unshare the screen if you don't have anything, so it makes your face bigger if you want to. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Let me pop out here real quick. Um, let's see.
因为我们今天时间还是够用的，我问了一些 Jake 老师，就是因为他去了，其实他以前就是在寄宿高中，他的高中的时刻，然后这么多年，他也肯定看过很多不同的高中，所以我想问他一下，就是魔堡跟其他的这个顶级的寄宿高中有什么不同？我觉得他可以给我们一些很好的这个就是自己的见解。
There we go. Yeah, thank you, Diego. So it's a great question. What is something that really makes Mercersburg unique? And I touched on it a little bit at the end there, but I'll reiterate that there
Mhm,
really is a unique there's a uniqueness about our people here at
mhm,
Mercersburg, I think,
mhm,
and that um, there's a very unique authenticity here at Mercersburg. Everybody here is very authentic and genuine.
mhm,
Um, it's not the kind of place where students come here and they feel like they need to act a certain way in order to fit in. It really is the kind of place where you can come here and be comfortable in yourself and be confident in yourself and know that whoever that is or whatever that might look like, you'll be accepted here at Mercersburg for who that is. That's what makes Mercersburg a really special place. We have such an interesting, diverse community in terms of background, but also interests and personalities, and all kinds of things that make up somebody's identity. So it's just a great, accepting, warm place in that sense. That's kind of unique from a lot of other schools I've experienced.
Okay, okay. So actually, I'm going to dig a little bit deeper before I translate again. Would you say that has like a southern hospitality, even though it's in the East Coast? Because I know you're originally from Tennessee, so yeah, how does that is that a right comparison?
I would say so, yeah, in a lot of ways, for sure. It's when you come here to campus as a visitor,
Mm,
you'll have everyone on campus will be waving at you and saying
mm,
hello to you while you walk around, and you'll be like, a lot of people are caught off guard at first because they're like, I don't know any of these people. Why
yeah,
is everyone waving at
yeah.
me and saying
Uh-huh.
hi? But that's just because Mercersburg people are very friendly and do offer a sense of hospitality, opening doors for people, saying hello to people when they pass each other. So yeah, that's a very good analogy.
我刚才有 OK，我刚才有跟这个老师开玩笑，因为他说我因为问他就是模堡有什么跟别的学校不同嘛，他说最主要就是他觉得不同的点就是大家都是很真诚啊，就是很真诚，很实在，然后呢很有绅士风度，就比如说见这个陌生人都会打招呼，帮别人开门，然后给别人就是招手。其实可能很多人都不习惯，一开始就是为什么他不认识我却跟我打招呼，那其实在魔堡就是这个风度。然后我刚才开个玩笑，因为我知道这个老师以前是在这个Tennessee 嘛，在那个在南部，因为南部的话，一般美国我们都说他们有一个南部的这个热情，所以我问他是不是这个热情跟南部很相似，虽然在这个在东海岸，所以他说是的，有一点儿相似。所以我觉得这个也是大家想看到的，因为学生这个离家长这个千里万里的话，其实有一个这样热情的学校，而且就是中国讲就是不装的学校的话，这个文化和文化的这个体验会是让学生感觉在家一样啊。OK, so okay, that's one thing really stands out about Mercersburg. Anything else you want to share that was in the slide, Jake?
Not off the top of my
Okay,
mind. No.
okay.
Yeah,
So I'll go right to the questions then. Are you ready for it, Jake? Yeah.
I am ready.
OK，给这个老师现在是问问题的时候了。OK，在线上的家长可以这个提问，然后的话，这个如果我觉得这个老师回答的话，一定会帮你问到。So first question, Jake, is okay. So we love Mercersburg. How do we get in? Very basic question.
Yeah, that's a good question. Sure, I would say some of the most important things that we are looking for in a Mercersburg student, are students, kids who are looking to be engaged in a community. Mercersburg is a community that is much more than just a school. So if there are a lot of schools out there that just focus on one thing, maybe it's just academics, maybe it's they have a really heavy focus on the arts or a heavy focus on athletics. Mercersburg is a pretty well-rounded place, and it's a very connected place. And we want students to come here, and be involved and engaged in our community. And that
Mhm,
looks like different things for different people. That doesn't mean you need to come here and be involved in everything that we have to offer.
mhm,
But it does mean, being willing to step outside of your comfort zone and engage in something that's more than just yourself.
mhm.
I think those are probably the most important things that we ultimately look for in an applicant, a student who shows a willingness and readiness to do that.
Mhm. Okay, got that. So it's about like extracurricular, your how you help out or involved in the community. It could be something like philanthropy or just simply, right, like demonstrating your ability to influence others. Would that be the
Yeah,
right way?
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
it looks very like different things for different people for
Right, right.
sure.
It could be like teamwork, it could be leadership, it could be organizing things, events, right, in the community.
Exactly.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
got that. Okay, so that's first. I'll translate that all together. How about some of the hard criterias?
Yeah, sure. I know what you're getting at there. I
Yeah.
would say, our average TOEFL and things like that
Uh-huh.
is about a 105.
Okay.
That doesn't mean if you have lower than that that you're not going to get in, but that is about what our average is in terms of accepted students.
Okay.
One of our policies, though, if you've been in a school where English is the primary method of instruction for at least 2 years,
Mm,
then you can request to have the TOEFL waived, and
okay.
then you don't need to take it or
So
send
for
it in.
example, an
Uh,
international school in China, right? Like an international school in China would do, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Correct. International schools, bilingual schools.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Bilingual. How about SSAT? Some parent asked online. Yeah.
Yeah. Since COVID, we have been SSAT optional. That's not a permanent policy necessarily, though. If we go back to the SSAT at any point, our average score has always been around 2100, which is about the 75th to 80th percentile, I believe.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so that's kind of the average score if we're requiring the SSAT, which
Okay.
currently we are not.
Optional doesn't mean you will not accept it at all, or if somebody turned in the SSAT, would you consider it? And the follow-up question to that is, like for example, last year, how many percent of international students turned in SSAT?
We've really been optional in the sense that we don't look at it.
You don't look at it. Okay.
If you send it in, we'll add it to your file. But when it comes to admission committee and making decisions, we have not been looking at any students' SSATs. So I don't have that number for you in
Okay.
terms of how many
Okay.
international students have submitted it, just because it doesn't really matter for us.
Right. Okay. Got it. Okay. SSC, do you need anything like interview? How about interviews or Verican? Is that needed?
We do not work with Vericant,
Okay.
so yeah, we require an interview, but it will be a one-on-one interview with a Mercersburg admission counselor.
Okay. Is that requested after the application is processed or before somebody can request an interview before?
Doesn't matter. Well, I will say we do require families to just submit the first part of the
Oh,
application, like the
okay.
biographical section, names, addresses, phone numbers.
Okay.
That needs to be submitted, and then if the TOEFL is required, then we'll require your TOEFL to be submitted first before you can schedule an interview.
Okay, got it. Okay. Definitely it will be before you click the pay and submit button, right? You can request an interview, right? After the first part is
Correct.
completed. Yeah, okay, got it.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, this is actually very important, so I'll translate that now. Yeah, I think a lot of parents really care about this part. OK，老师已经说了啊，就是他们很注重的模保，就是课外活动和怎么你在你自己的就是社区或者环境里来有奉献吧，可以说就是这个可以体现这个很多种方式，比如说领导力啊、团队协作精神啊，或者是你组织了一个什么样的你很在乎的活动啊，或者帮助了别人。那这个我们在乐见所谓就是公民意识啊，不论是美高还是美本，这个公民意识怎么来了解自我，然后呢，了解这个社会的现象，想帮助通过自己的能力来解决一个需要解决的问题，在社会上啊，这个都是学生可以体现自己能力和独特性的。然后这个就是像这个老师也说了，这个就是我们所谓的可以千变万化，因为它不是一个仅仅的一个成绩的分数，其实没有什么对和错的活动，只要是学生在乎，在里边有成长和奉献体现出来，那就是一个好事情。啊，然后这个老师也说了，那这个活动最好是学生可以体现他不仅仅待在一个这个温室里边可以跳出自己的这个环境来挑战自己，那这个就更好了，就是 challenge yourself，美国所谓的。因为如果这个能力可以看到的话，那模保的这个招生办人员也能看到他在模保遇到挑战的时候，也可以突破自己的这个上限，然后可以来做得更好，所以这个是学校想看到的。那第二呢，就是这个软实力这个也可以算是 EQ 方面，我们乐见一直说的。那在这个 IQ 方面，刚才也问了一下这个 Jake 老师，这也是家长比较关注的。因为学生目前这个国内的环境就是比较卷，大家都在拼成绩，所以托福的话 如果不在一个国际学校或双语学校，至少2年的话，那平均的成绩是105分这是这个老师说的。然后我专门给帮助各位家长问了一些 SSAT，然后这个老师说了 SSAT 现在是optional，因为这个疫情就是它是不需要这个 SSAT 成绩。但是呢，我又不甘心，因为这次我追问了一下，我问了2个问题，一个是历年来学生有没有提交就是国际学生有没有提交 SSAT 的成绩有多少学生提交？然后第二，提交了以后，那会不会考虑？第一个问题，这个老师不太确定它的数字，但是呢，第二个问题其实已经可以给我们一个答案。他说，就算提交上去了，他们也不会作为一个考量学生的一个就是纬度，所以这个表示的就问的已经很明确了。今天我基本上，所以希望大家可以作为一个参考。and third part 就是第3个就是面试。那面试的话，他们不需要伪立刻面试这个模保。然后呢，他们的面试会在家长在填他们的申请表的第1个基本信息之后，就可以跟老师要求了，然后也会跟这个学校方一个1对1的面试。所以这个就是今天这个老师帮我们回答非常详细了，希望对各个家长有所帮助。Okay, Jake, I think we got that part very clear. Yeah. Okay.
Great.
Next question parent have is about how many students, especially international students, or we can say, if you can, how many Chinese students Mercersburg accept a year?
As far as Chinese citizens go, students with mainland China passports, it's a small number. It's usually 3 to 5 students in the 9th grade, and then usually if we're accepting any in the 10th grade, it'll usually be 1 or 2. So it all kind of just depends on our numbers each year, but it's a small number, and that's how it is with any
Right.
population. We
Right.
typically don't have more than 5 in one grade from any particular country at one time.
Right. That's just how you guys do diversity, right? There's no like any kind of a pushback or anything. It's just that there's only 440 students total, right?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And there's of course a lot of interest, from
Yeah.
China right
You're
now.
right.
So that often when
Okay.
people hear that 3 to 5 number, they're like, "Oh my
Oh,
gosh."
yeah. It's
I get
impossible,
and I
right?
and I get it. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Too many parents is like a shot in the dark. Okay,
Mhm.
but that's fair. Yeah, that's usually given the size of the school. 所以各位家长，这个帮助各位问了，这个模保就是很魔幻，因为它确实收的学生很少一年只是3到5个中国国籍的学生在9年级，然后10年级也就是1到2个最多了所以这个竞争可想大家都可以想象的，这个还是比较难的。我问一个简单的问题这个虽然就是其实家长家长这个我看线上有一个这个 SSAT 问题已经解答了，然后actually a follow-up question is, do you know about the yield rate? For example, how many people applied out of to yield these 3 to 5 students? Do you have that
Yeah,
number?
it's usually pretty high yield, almost 100%, I would say.
Oh, sorry. Let me put this way. So how many applicants there were to get these for these three
I
to
see.
5 spots? Yeah.
I see. Yeah, there's typically like 120 to 150 applicants, I would say.
Okay. Okay. Wow. 这个
So
回答这个
the acceptance rate, yeah, is quite small.
Yeah, it's very small. Yeah, it's very small. 这个回答这个家长问题，这个目前的话，其实这个每年有120到150个中国学生，然后录取的话有3到5个所以这个的话就是很小的一个比例。Okay, just to for fun, some parents in China really care about the food at the high school. They want their kids to be healthy and strong. So how's the cafeteria at Mercersburg?
Good. Our food options are great here. We have a lot of different options. So there's always, a main option, but there's always a pasta bar and a salad bar and a sandwich bar. There's always a soup bar. In the morning for breakfast, there's several times a week an omelet bar. So there's a lot of different
Okay.
dining hall options, but we also have restaurants in town that
Mhm.
students can go to. If
Oh.
they want to get dinner at a restaurant with friends, they can do
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
There's a cafe option on campus in addition to the dining hall that serves other sandwiches and things
Mhm.
like that at night. So there's a lot of different options for food in addition to the dining hall here.
Okay. Nobody would be left hungry, right?
That's
Right.
right, exactly.
OK，家长们其实就不用担心了，因为美国的话，说实话，就个人经验，这个老师听不见，就美国吃的其实差不多就那么多吧，但是肯定不会让学生饿到。尤其是魔堡他们有一个餐厅，然后还有咖啡厅，那每天都有很多这个各种各样的这个健康，因为我觉得美国其实主要是健康食品，就比如沙拉呀这些绿色食品，然后有这个早餐、晚餐，然后旁边还有很多餐厅，所以呢，这样的话其实其实我觉得家长不用担心啊，到现在为止没有听到哪个学生这个厌食或者被饿到啊。然后刚才还有个家长这个说了，这个魔堡的这个游泳池是这个美国这个就是这个只有3家啊，这个美国中学只有3家是50米的奥林匹克的这个游泳池50米的。One parent commented, we know who about the Olympic size swimming pool at Mercersburg. Yeah, so it goes along with your swimming, right? Swimming is one of the top sports at Mercersburg. 非常好。
Correct.
Okay. Next question is about parent asks when you recruit students, do you care about like the student is more geared towards like literature or English versus STEM? Like, do you have that preference, or is that's not something like you have a strong preference in?
No preference. We have very strong programs here on campus for both of those areas. So we love having students apply who are interested in either for sure.
哦，OK，OK，大家这个老师说了，这个其实他们这个文理科都很强，所以这个也不会额外来挑剔学生。Next question, I'll shoot 2 more questions together. One is about the safety of the school. Are students safe on campus and around campus? And second is about the matriculation. So where like students end up after Mercersburg. 所以各位家长，我问这个老师2个连续的问题哈，一个是安全，因为我想中国家长很在乎这个孩子这么远了他们的安全系数。第二呢，就是老师学生从魔堡毕业以后，他们能去到哪个大学？那我想这个也是家长最关心的问题之一。
Yes, great questions. Safety, I know, is a huge priority for anybody who's sending their child off to a boarding school. You can rest assured that Mercersburg is a very safe community. Gosh, it's in my 7 years here living in the town of Mercersburg, I can't even tell you about a single crime that has occurred here
Oh,
in town
OK，
because it is that safe. The population of the town is only about 1,500 people or so, I would
oh,
say 1,500. So it's
OK，
very small
OK，
in that sense. Uh, the students, it's great because it's so safe. Our students are able to pretty freely go into town if they want to go to a restaurant, if they want to go to a shop in town or something like that. They can just walk from campus into town, and that's fine. They don't need a faculty chaperone or anything like that. And it's great because everyone in town, they know who our students are. So even the people in town are kind of looking after our kids in a lot of ways. And then here
OK，
on campus, I'll just mention that we have 24-hour, 7 days a week security team who are always patrolling campus, the perimeter, and throughout campus. And then all of the buildings on campus stay locked 24 hours a day. And you can only get into a building if you're a student or faculty member with a key card and you can
OK。
buzz yourself in. So it's a very secure and safe campus in a lot of different ways.
Okay, okay. Wow, that's pretty safe. Okay, I'll translate this part. 老师说这个 Mercersburg 是非常安全的，因为它这个城市只有1500个人啊，这个按中国来说就是一个小区的一栋楼的人数然后这个老师在魔堡的7年里边没有看过，就是或者听说过任何的这个犯罪事件 然后呢，因为很安全，所以学生呢也可以到镇上比如说吃东西啊、喝咖啡啊等等。然后镇上的人呢也都知道这个魔堡的学生，也会都是就是照顾一下他们。然后整个的学校呢就不用说了，他们都会有这个自己的卡 ID 卡来这个解锁各个的学校的这个学校的建筑或者教室，所以就别人是进不去的。而且他们在学校还有一个24小时的全天的这样的安全负责人，所以这样的话可以保证学生的安全。Very good. Thanks, Jake.
Great. Yeah, of course. And then the college piece I know is certainly an important one for anybody coming to a boarding school because for a lot of students it's kind of the next thing. There are so many colleges and universities out there, so many different ones, and that's kind of how our own student body is as well. We have our own students who are all doing so many different things. So our college. Our college matriculation list often reflects that. It's a
Okay.
very diverse list of schools that our kids are going off to. They're going off to big state research universities.
Mhm.
They're going to small liberal arts schools. They're going to top Ivy League schools. They're going to military service academies. Sometimes our students, if they're interested in the arts, will go to a place for art and design, one of those colleges. So it really just it depends. The list is a huge range, and our college counseling office does a really good job of helping students identify what their strengths are, what their interests are, and then they help them create a list that is going to be a list of schools that's a good fit for them. There's no pressure from Mercersburg
Mhm.
to feel like you have to go to a certain school or to feel like
Right.
the students around you are all going to certain
Mhm.
schools. So you also have to go to that school. That pressure doesn't
Right.
exist here, which is really nice.
Okay. Okay, that's great. How about Jake? Would it be possible to name a few schools that parents might heard of in the United States? Just to throw that onto you. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Off the top of my head, we've sent students in the last years to NYU, to Emory College, to Johns Hopkins, to uh, Duke, um, Stanford, USC, Southern California, Vanderbilt,
Mm.
Tulane. These are all some of the really strong schools that our students have gone to in recent years.
Okay, wow, that's a good number and very diverse. 那我回答一些这个家长问题啊，因为美国老师一般不太会特别直接回答这个问题，但是他说了，就是学校有很多帮助学生来选择这个适合他们大学的，因为某宝不会因为我排名这么前，就是来推学生去一个就是比如说前20、前10的大学所以呢，就是他们也是有非常一个大家就是他喜好的大学有不同的分类。比如说有这个藤校，大家知道的都知道的，哈耶普斯马有这个艺术学校，甚至还有这个军校，那我们就不说了，大多数中国孩子是不会去军校。然后还有这个大 U 等等文理学院。那我刚才又说，能不能给我们的家长说一些就是听过的一些大学学生去的？那他说了几个名字NYU 纽约大学约翰霍普金斯、艾默利大学，还有杜克、斯坦福、南加大、范德堡等等这些可能家长都听过，所以这个的话，我觉得这个老师也比较谦虚的，因为我觉得这个哈耶普斯麻其实我估计魔宝不少但是他没有就直接说这个，因为就想这个创造一个就是说最适合你的才是最好的这个气氛啊。Okay, that's very good, Jake. So question from parents, if they want to contact you, do you have an email you can share with us? And also your slides, if the parents want it, is it okay to give them a copy or yeah, the couple slides you have? Yeah.
Yeah, I can share those with you if you want me to. I don't have them saved onto my computer right now.
Mm,
They're on my Google Drive, but I can
mm,
export them and send them to you if you would like to disseminate them to families who are interested. Or
yeah,
I can give my email address and families can reach out
mhm,
directly if they want me to
mhm.
send them the slides. What do you think would be
Yeah,
easiest?
in our chat box, there's a chat. can you type that in there and we will forward it to the different platforms. So right now about between the two platforms, there are about 200 to 300 families or eyes who watched our conversation. So if you type it out here, we can the other platforms. 稍等
Great. This
联系这个 Jake 老师，所以呢，这个的话，这个老师已经把那个他的 email 给我们了。第二呢，今天的这个 PPT 呢，如果大家想要的话，之后也可以跟我们的小助手问，因为今天时间有限，所以不能回答每个家长问题。那之后呢，其实可以联系我们的乐见的这个市场小助手，然后如果要是想有1对1咨询，包括模保还有其他的话，那其实可以联系我们啊。然后也请我们的小助手把这个 Jake 老师的那个邮箱可以发到我们的这个各个平台啊，非常感谢。所以 Jake 老师邮箱呢，其实就是 admission@mercersburg .edu 很简单，就是招生at 模保 edu。这个一会儿的话，我可以给大家这个打一下。OK， 好。So, Jake, I think that's everything. Let me just check really quick about the questions. I think we answer everything. Yeah, I think people are very happy. We have one platform. I'm actually only on one platform, not both, but this platform, there's 182 people that watched it. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. Wonderful. Thank you. So glad everyone turned out and showed up. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So let's thank Jake 老师, Mr. Candy for his time. So Jake, everyone wants to thank you for your time, and they hope their kids can one day be lucky enough to get in.
Yeah, thank you guys. And I certainly look forward to meeting you somewhere along the way for an interview or to read your application if you wind up applying. So thank you for your interest.
Thank you. OK，
All right.
OK，
Thank you
我们感
guys.
谢这个老师啊。然后今天的话是我们的这个访谈系列，今天的话是模保排名第23的学校，然后很感谢这个老师。然后呢，明天我们还有一场这个也是Tabor 那个 Academy， 欢迎大家收听。所以今天呢，感谢晚上收听，我们明天再见。